This is the Good Government Show.
School was never really a problem for me. Focusing often was a problem for me because I was involved. I became, at 16 years old, I was the freshman class president at Savannah State. Founded in 1733, we had 24 squares. 22 of those squares are still there. We are the oldest planned city in America. DC is the second oldest. We have one of the largest historic districts in the country, but we have several of them. We have the third busiest port in the nation. LA is one, New York is second, Savannah is third. So we punch bigger than our weight on so many fronts. I mean, people blame me for the weather, they blame me for this, they'll blame me for that. I can't fix everything wrong with everybody's life.
A guy from Brooklyn, New York, he's the mayor of Savannah, Georgia. This is someone I wanted to talk to, and I did. Coming up, my conversation with Mayor Van Johnson, and it's a lively one. Welcome to the Good Government Show. I'm Dave Martin. First, help us share the message of good government by liking us and sharing us where we are on Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Please share our show with your friends and review us right here where you're listening. And join our Good Government Show community. Check out our website for the link. I met Mayor Johnson early this year at the Conference of Mayors. It was actually our second meeting, as you'll hear. A few updates since our conversation. In a recent State of the City address, the mayor pointed to an overall drop in crime rates and violent crime. This comes after a mass shooting incident where 3 people were shot inside an area mall. In his address, he also noted that some 84 of the city's most wanted felons have already been arrested. Mayor Johnson also cited budget growth and what he plans to do with the money. Some of it includes recreational center upgrades, improving traffic safety and garbage pickup, and he's addressing homelessness. The added funding, he says, will allow the city to create 60 new apartments and 39 small cottages for the city's homeless. He also talked about improving stormwater infrastructure. He has a lot of plans. We also talked about a regional Hyundai car manufacturing plant. The plant was the scene of a large-scale ICE raid early this year. The mayor said Savannah law enforcement took no part in the raid as it's outside of the city, but he said the city will do what it can to help the people and families that are affected by those ICE raids. If you haven't been there, Savannah is consistently ranked as one of the best cities in America to visit. It's historic, a very walkable city, and chances are you've seen Savannah already. It's a very popular location for movies. Forrest Gump, Civil War movies Glory and The Conspirator, and Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil are just a few of the movies that have been filmed there. We also talked about being a Brooklyn man and living and working in Savannah, and I also got to talk about rugby. And you'll hear him explain how being from Brooklyn actually helps him as mayor. So coming up, my conversation with Mayor Van Johnson of Savannah, Georgia. The Good Government Show is sponsored by Our. That's O-U-R for Our Community. Get involved. We hear that all the time from government leaders. Our co-brands with your government's name and logo. Your staff and the people you serve are connected and part of your community. From any device, your members provide reliable data and meaningful feedback. Ask a question like, do we want more parkland or better homeless services? More engaged conversations come through the Our app. Visit Ourco, that's OURCO.com, and book a demonstration. It was called the War to End All Wars, but it didn't. 3 royal cousins, all kings, one from England, one from Germany, and one from Russia, blundered their way into a war, a completely avoidable war that left millions dead in the trenches across Europe. Good Government Show executive producer Jim Ludlow details the blunders, mistakes, and bluster that started World War I that didn't end all wars. The book, The Royal Cousins, details the events and creates an alternative history. Imagine if World War I never happened. It didn't have to. Just read it yourself. Download the book today on Amazon. It's just 99 cents and a timely look at history. Welcome to the Good Government Show. I'm very happy to have back with me Van Johnson, the mayor of Savannah. Welcome back. Thanks for coming again.
Thank you. It's my honor. Everybody talks about this show, and I'm glad to have my shot.
Thank you very much for that. I would should explain to our audience here listening that this is our second interview because we did one and technology did not work for me.
And it was a great interview. I mean, the stuff I said was profound. The conversation was deep. Oh, well, I mean, you were part of it. I mean, we were into this thing, and Oh well, it just that's between us.
We're going to try to capture lightning in a bottle a second time.
Okay.
All right. So you are the mayor of Savannah, Georgia, and we just sort of before we turn the mics on, we are at the Conference of Mayors. It's January, and you're looking for snow, and your city's not prepared for snow. How do you deal with that? How do you manage that?
Well, the fact is that there are things that you get good at. Snow in Savannah is so infrequent. The last time we had snow of any significant accumulation was 8 years ago, 8 years ago. It was January 3rd, 2018, to show you how much I remember it.
Okay.
So 7 years ago. I was not. I was on council.
Okay.
But we were shut down for 3 days. However, in the last year, we had 2 hurricanes and 1 tropical storm back to back to back. We're prepared for that. We understand that, we are able to move water. We're able to.
Give me a hurricane.
Right,
I'm fine.
Right. And so, cities have to, deal with what they have to deal with. And so for us, we rather put our money into the things that we know are more frequent than, have basically 8 years of salt and plows that we would never use.
So you're the mayor. People are going to be annoyed. Their streets aren't going to get plowed. They're
not going to be annoyed. They're so excited at the thought of snow. Many folks have, they've never seen snow. Have not seen it very frequently. So we know with our northern connections that, snow at first is really wonderful. And then it's all the problems from snow.
Yes.
The precipitation, the black ice, and those things that causes headaches for governments. But initially, they're happy. They can't wait. They want to be off from work.
Yep.
They want snow days.
Snow days.
Yeah.
And I should point out at this point that we are both from Brooklyn. You're from Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
Born and raised.
That's right.
And what got you to Savannah?
Went to Savannah State. Graduated. My father was from Savannah and through South Carolina, and I graduated from high school at 16. Was quite young, and I had some choices. Yeah. And so the choice I chose was to go to live with my grandmother in Savannah. And attend Savannah State.
Keep an eye on you.
Keep an eye on me. Yes.
A little too young to be in college.
Right.
So you're obviously a child prodigy.
No, I don't think so. But in New York at the time, and talking about education, the New York school system was actually pretty ahead of its time. On a couple of points. The first thing was that.
Where'd you go to high school?
Erasmus Hall.
Okay.
The Erasmus Hall. So
one of the better high schools
that's right.
in the New York City public school system.
Clive Davies, Barbara Streisand, Stephanie Mills,
Henry Kissinger.
Right. Went to this school, which is the oldest high school, I believe, in North America, founded by the Dutch. In the 1700s.
On Flatbush Avenue?
On Flatbush Avenue. So you're very familiar.
Yes.
But at the time, they did a couple of things. First of all, New York had vocational education years ago. I think they realized very early on that everyone was not going to college. So, remember they had automotive high school.
Yes.
And, and you graduated with a GM certificate, or you went to aviation school and you graduated with that, or you went to Maxwell and you ended up with a cosmetology certificate. My mother went to Clara Barton and her sister, they became nurses.
Okay.
So they were really on that, vocational front. And then the second thing is that if you had kids who read particularly well, and I did at the time, they accelerated us. So they gave us 7th and 8th grade work in the 7th grade, and then we skipped the 8th grade and went to 9th grade.
Okay.
And so I graduated a year early as a result.
So how did you do at Savannah State as a 16-year-old freshman?
I did well.
Yeah.
I did all right. School was never really a problem for me. Focusing often was a problem for me because I was involved. I became, at 16 years old, I was the freshman class president at Savannah State.
You were?
Yes.
So
government was in my blood.
But government was in your blood. Mm-hmm. What are you dealing with now, other than just waiting for the snow to melt so that we can get back to life? What are you working on?
Well, right now, I think top of mind for us is affordable housing and homelessness. Savannah.
This is a problem nationwide.
It is a problem nationwide.
Have you found the key in Savannah?
No. Savannah has become wildly popular. We're an international city. 17 million visitors come, and people come, particularly from the north and the west. They fall in love. International visitors, they fall in love. They will buy a house sight unseen. They'll pay what the seller wants to pay for it. And in economics, that drives up prices.
And Savannah, if you haven't been there, folks, is a beautiful city.
It is.
It is used countless times in movies.
Yes.
For representing colonial times, Civil War times, antebellum times.
And it looks like it looked, downtown looks like it looked.
Yep.
When we were founded in 1733, we had 24 squares. 22 of those squares are still there.
Yes.
We are the oldest planned city in America. DC is the second oldest. We have one of the largest historic districts in the country, but we have several of them.
And it's the home of the Girl Scouts.
That's right. Julia Gordon-Low, the founder of the Girl Scouts.
You could buy Girl Scout cookies year round.
You can buy them. That's right. You can drink and walk with your drinks in Savannah.
We like that.
Yeah. You're literally 45 minutes from Hilton Head, South Carolina. We're right off of I-95 corridor.
And the Forrest Gump bench, is that still there?
Yes. And then, of course, we have the river and we have the beach. So, we are in a really good geographic place.
And I have to mention, you have a huge rugby tournament, the Savannah Rugby Tournament.
The Savannah Clovers.
Yes. St. Patrick's Day weekend.
I'm glad you mentioned that. We have a huge Irish population.
Glad I bring up rugby, but
right.
Go ahead.
Well, what happens is, we have people who came directly here from Ireland during the potato famine, people from Wexford, Ireland, people from Limerick, Ireland, from Dublin, Ireland. They came, their descendants are in Savannah. They've done really, really well, but they came as poor folks. And we have great relationships now there. We have the second largest St. Patrick's celebration in the country. New York is first, Savannah is second, Chicago is third, Boston is fourth. We have the third busiest port in the nation. LA is one, New York is second, Savannah is third. So, we punch bigger than our weight on so many fronts.
What are the challenges of being a mayor of a huge port city? Because that brings lots of stuff in, lots of commerce, lots of employees, lots of workers, but also lots of problems.
Lots of trucks.
Yes.
Lots of trucks.
And traffic.
Pollution that is associated with it. We now have host Georgia's two largest manufacturers, Gulfstream, which is a division of General Dynamics. They make airplanes. They make luxury airplanes built from beginning to end in Savannah. And then right outside of Savannah, we just
So is there a Gulfstream waiting for you whenever you need a plane?
I wish. $65 million, 3-year wait list for it. And then we have a Hyundai plant that just opened up. It is the largest plant outside of Korea in the world. We will ultimately build 300,000 electric vehicles a year. The Ioniq 9 and Ioniq 5.
Was there a lot of lobbying by the mayor to bring those in?
It was a lot of lobbying to bring something.
Okay.
We had some manufacturing land, and so the governor, Governor Kemp, and the state really, really pushed for that. They sealed the deal. We're making it work.
Savannah is in part a very southern, old city. How do they react to a guy from Brooklyn being their mayor? I mean, they've elected you, so I guess there's
they've elected me 6 times, I believe.
Okay.
So this is I was on council for 4 terms.
Okay.
And now I've been mayor. This is my 5th, but I'm concluding my service this year. The reality is that they'll remind me still, take your ass back to New York. You're a New Yorker. You don't care nothing about us. It's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And then they'll vote for me. I think the reality is people have to, in the South, in Savannah in particular, people are very relational. They're not transactional. It's not what can you do for me. We want, date me, learn what I like, learn what's important to me, learn my favorite color is my favorite song. And so for me, when I decided to drop my anchor in Savannah, and to get involved in Savannah, I think Savannah wanted to test how much I love Savannah. And so, over 16 years of being on council, they gave me the chance to be mayor.
What made you get into government?
I've always been in government. Again, I think...
president of your freshman class in college?
In 5th grade, I was in student government. I was always in student government. I was president of my freshman class in college and my junior class in college. I ran for student government president and I lost. And when you look at my yearbook, I've always said that I wanted to be a public administrator.
Okay.
a public administrator. And so my master's degree is in public administration. I've worked in government. I was a police officer. I was a human resources professional. So I've
Where were you a
always
police
been
officer?
In Savannah.
How long?
Well, two years active and then 18 years as a sheriff's reserve deputy.
So would you have to go out and put the uniform on for big events, parades, crowd control, that sort of thing?
I have.
Yeah.
But then
Ever as mayor? Ever as mayor?
No.
Okay.
No. But I'm also a certified trainer. So most of my time had been actually in training side of it.
Was that a good background for serving as mayor?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You understand law enforcement, but then as a person of color, I also understand the perception about law enforcement and communities of color. One of the first tests I had in 2020 during the pandemic was the issue of George Floyd and how they responded in communities. And I think my experience as a law enforcement officer and as a person of color helped us to really allay those fears and to make some reforms that I think worked well for our city.
Do people expect you to sort of answer for the police when you're in that role?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How's your relationship with your police chief? Do you hire him?
He doesn't work for me.
Okay.
But I certainly have known him his entire career.
Okay. Did you serve with him as police officers?
No, we had not.
Oh, okay.
No, I had not. But I think it's important that the police know that you understand. And it's easy for people to throw shade at police like they throw shade at politicians, but until you put a uniform on and until you run to trouble while people are running away from trouble, until you have to speak to a widow whose husband was killed in the line of duty, then you help understand why it's so important that we have good law enforcement officers and we support them.
Because of your background, were you able to do anything for the police that maybe another mayor might not have been able to do?
Well, I started what was called CARES. There's a task force, Citizens Accountability and Review of Emergency Services. And this was a task force to be able to look at our police operation, particularly as it relates to its interactions with the public, to view internal affair reports, to see if there were areas that we could improve. And then that task force came up with 12 recommendations. I believe we have adopted 10 of them.
Okay. All right. You said housing was something you were working on. What's your other challenges?
Well, housing and homelessness.
How are you bringing good government to Savannah? There's the question.
I think by showing up every day. Being accountable, by not dodging the hard issues, by facing it head on, by not being afraid to admit where we could improve, but yet being able to herald the things that we're doing well. People have this thought about politicians, but everybody wants to be in politics.
Everybody wants to tell politicians how to do it. That's really what you mean.
Right. Well, I'm not a politician, but well, then why are you running?
Are you a politician?
I am. I mean, when you look at the term, a politician is someone that is actively engaged or skilled in the field of politics.
Right.
If I play the violin, I'm a violinist.
Yes.
If I play cello, I'm a cellist. If I play piano, I'm a pianist. So I think that, functionally, people have put a connotation on politician that mean that, that's the political answer. No, I mean, it's the right answer. And so I don't run from people, and, people who are on my Facebook pages, they come for me and I go right back at them. The Brooklyn in me will not let them just say what they want to say to me and think they're going to get away with it.
Is that a good skill to have in Savannah?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes, because people don't expect for you to come back and if you call my mama names, you got to get your mama names called as well. Again, I think you stand up to bullies.
All right. Fair enough. Are you out of the community? Are you in the restaurants? Are you?
I'm everywhere.
The hardware store, the grocery store?
You will see me at clubs. You'll see me at churches. You'll see me at funerals. You'll see me at mosques. You'll see me at synagogues.
Barbershop? No?
Barbershop. Well, I don't have any hair, but I do go to barbershops. You will see me on the street corner.
Okay.
You'll see me downtown. I think, part of good government is being present. You have to be present. I'm present when there are shootings. I'm present at hospitals and nursing homes. I'm where my people are.
All right. And now we're going to get your true thoughts on your philosophy of government. We're going to do that in just a minute. Once you wrap up this episode of The Good Government Show, give a listen to our friends over at Good News for Lefties. This daily podcast highlights news stories that show there's more good news out there. Other people in government are really trying to do the right thing. That's Good News for Lefties. Listen where you're listening now. After you get done with this episode, hear more good government stories with our friends at How to Really Run a City. Former mayors Kasim Reed of Atlanta and Michael Nutter of Philadelphia and their co-host, journalist and author Larry Platt, talk with guests and other mayors about how to really get stuff done in cities around the nation. Check them out where you're listening now or through their nonprofit news site, thephiladelphiacitizen.org/podcasts. So we have the Good Government Show questionnaire. You're cheating a little bit because you've heard all these questions before, but I'm going to ask them again.
I promise you I don't remember.
All right, good. City council and mayor, define good government.
Good government working together, having an agreed set of goals, vibrant debate on the issues and not on personalities.
Not on personality.
Not on personalities.
All right. How do you judge your success other than elections? How do you know at the end of the week if you did a good job? What do you use as your personal yardstick?
My personal yardstick is that I don't go to jail and I don't go to hell. That's the goal.
Cool. All right, well,
that's the goal.
A bit of a low bar there, Mr. Mayor.
Well, no, actually, nowadays, no. I mean, you look at mayors being indicted, and no, I mean, I don't think it's particularly a low bar. The other thing is that you set goals and expectations at the very beginning. The Bible says you write the vision, you make it plain. So you have an idea of where it is you want to go. Either you do it or you have not done it. And then secondly, I think you have to be able to create a data-informed electorate and let them hold you to the data.
How should people hold you to the data, and how should people hold you accountable if they don't like what you're doing?
Then to be able to say that in a way that is respectful, and if you have suggestions, then you be able to do that. The reality is that I was elected.
Yep.
So therefore, people agreed with at least my vision for how we will move our city forward. So we create that list. And for us, the list was also created with extensive public input. That public input has changed a little bit.
If people don't like the way government's working, what should they do?
I think they contact their council members. Okay. They contact their mayor. But, again, when you talk about government is oftentimes multi-layered. And so people will blame things on local government that has nothing to do with local government. It has to do with the state government, the federal government. In Savannah, there are big entities that do not pay property taxes. They don't pay it because state and federal law says that as nonprofits or religious entities or as educational entities, they don't pay taxes. Well, people will say, well, make them pay taxes. Well, by law, we can't, period.
Okay.
So then hold those levels of government accountable.
What would you like people to know? You're a politician, you're a government insider. What would you like people to know about government?
That it's an imperfect practice. It derives its ability to govern from the consent of the governed. The individuals running it, in our case, local government, are part-time. We do the best we can. It takes a lot out of your life. It probably takes years off of your life. And give us some grace. No one would say that we're perfect. I think people just try the best they can. And I think hopefully people will recognize that when they're interacting with their city officials.
You're a newsmaker.
I can't fix everything wrong in their life because I'm the mayor. I mean, people blame me for the weather. They blame me for this. They'll blame me for that. I can't fix everything wrong with everybody's life.
Is the snow your fault?
I will be blamed for it. Now, when it comes, it'll be fine. When businesses are closed, people will love it the first day. The second day, it'll be my fault because we're not getting the snow up. We should have known that we would have snow once every 8 years. And so therefore, we should have had plows to be able to do that. But nobody wants to pay the taxes that it would take to have plows just sitting there. So, it always becomes this thing. Then there was some conspiracy because Democrats, we waste money, so we wasted money to have the plows there. So it's, just becomes this, never ending.
How do you manage that?
Stay focused on the main thing, keep the main thing, and remember my North Star.
And that is?
Service.
Okay. You make news. Do you read about yourself? Where do you get your news from?
Everywhere. I look to see the things that people say I'm doing great, and then I look at stuff where people say that, I'm a blockhead. One of the things that somebody told me once when I got into office is that you're never as good as your fans say you are, and you're never as bad as your critics say you are.
All right. We've talked about this a little bit. This was always in your blood. Did you think mayor of Savannah was where you'd wind up?
No. And it's been the honor of my life to, a place where my father grew up and had to ride on the back of a bus or couldn't go to certain parts of town. His son.
Is your dad still around?
He passed January 3rd of 2024.
Oh, so he got to see you, mayor?
The day after my second inauguration, he passed away. And so, Did
he tell you early on? Listen, son, you got to fix this. What are you thinking? Come on. You're...
Well, I think his thing was he was just so proud.
Okay.
His thing was, typical Brooklyn way, don't mess it up. We have the same name, so don't mess my name up.
All right. We have talked about this. Savannah is home to some awesome food, some awesome barbecue.
Right.
Where are we going? Where you taking me into Savannah? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Oh man, I mean, we can go from the Gray, which is a Beard Award winner, Mashama Bailey. We can go to the Pink House. We can go to
the Pink House. Isn't that haunted?
Yeah, but they don't mess with your food.
Okay, good.
We could go to a variety of places that are all over the place. Savannah cooking is a sport. They take it seriously.
Are you a cook yourself?
No, not at all.
Okay. The Pirate House.
Pirate House is another great place.
That's haunted, right?
I mean, I think
there's a whole haunted house.
There is. Savannah is one of the haunted, most haunted places. I mean, for me, I think the issue is, as long as they don't bother me, I guess the spirits kind of do their thing. If you're not looking for them, they're not looking for you. All
right. So you haven't had any hauntings yourself?
I've seen some things that have been kind of strange.
All right.
But again, they're my constituents too.
Okay. You're the first person that's ever said we have ghosts as constituents. So this is the Good Government Show. We always bring it back to good government. How are we doing on the Good Government Show is my first question for you.
You're doing good. Very good interview.
Are we spreading the word of good government?
I think we have to. And where can about my listeners in Savannah catch the Good Government Show?
Good. Well, we're on every podcast platform. So again, we always bring it back to good government. Give me an example of a good government project you were able to shepherd through that you're proud of.
That in the midst of all we've been able to do, we've kept our millage rate the same over the last 3 years of my administration. It's the lowest it's been since 1987. We've been able to live off of our growth. And I think that is really important. It's important for us to be fiscally conservative where we can be, but yet be able to address the needs of a growing community.
Mayor Van Johnson of Savannah, Georgia, thank you very much again for coming by. I think we have no technical issues today. It was great to talk to you again, and I will see you in Savannah or Brooklyn.
Looking forward to it.
Very good.
Thank you.
In the city of Fate, Texas, they don't leave good government up to, fate. Join me for another show I host, As Fate Would Have It. My co-host is David Billings, the former mayor of Fate, who shares his opinions and thoughts on what good government is in Fate. As you'll hear, they don't leave it up to fate. So listen right here where you're listening now to As Fate Would Have It. I always find something interesting when I get a chance to have a good conversation with a mayor, and I found it interesting that Mayor Johnson was a police officer for a short time before he ran for elective office. As he said, being an officer gave him insight into both how the city department is run and how the police are perceived. And I liked his answer on how you can be effective. He says, just showing up every day and being accountable. That sounds like good government in Savannah from Mayor Van Johnson. And I hope he stays out of jail and out of hell. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Please like us and share us with your friends and review us right here where you're listening. And check out our website, goodgovernmentshow.com, for extras. Help us keep telling stories of good government in action everywhere. Join us again for another episode right here. I'm Dave Martin, and this is The Good Government Show. The Good Government Show is a Valley Park production. Jim Ludlow, Dave Martin, that's me, and David Snyder are the executive producers. Our show is edited and produced by Jason Stershic. Please subscribe, then share us, and like us and review us. That's the best way to make sure we're able to keep telling these stories of our government working for all of us. Then listen to the next episode of The Good Government Show.